Hi everyone, this is Snette, and in this video we're having a walk through the most common pain experiences that you may become aware of in your everyday life. And it's so interesting because I've had many people I've been working with the past 14 years come to me and say, just even in the beginning stages of me walking them through this process, it's like they suddenly become aware of all these pains in their body all of the time. Like becoming so overwhelmed with these electrical sensations moving through their body, these different, sudden, sharp, dull, deep, gnawing pains that come and go, stays to different for different lengths of time or intensities, and it's like their body has become alive. And it's interesting because we sometimes think or believe that to develop something like, let's say, this process of developing an awareness relationship with your body is something that's going to really take a very long time and a lot of work and so much effort, and it's going to be like studying for an exam. We tend to, well, this is me sometimes, I tend to project starting something new within the context of my school years, my educational years, in learning something new, having to study, having to memorize, having to integrate information. But with this process of creating a relationship with yourself, your body, becoming more aware of your mind and your body's relationship, what's actually happening here is that you are, to an extent, more walking into an already existent relationship that's always been here, but you never really deliberately with awareness participated in it and with it and utilized it in a way that really contributes to who you are as a person in thought, word and deed, and how you live and experience yourself and your life, and especially this relationship with your body. So therefore, this process, this experience is in itself a lively one. And to also make sure, that you don't walk into this process, this experience, with kind of like this thought in the back of your mind of, projecting all the previous experiences you've had when it comes to learning or studying or venturing into something new and different. Give yourself that opportunity to walk into this with the realization that this relationship of awareness is and always has been here. It's just that you've never utilized it, you've never known how to utilize it, and really gotten into the language, the way, the method, the means within which your body communicates with you, because you never really sat down with yourself and thought that something like that was ever really possible. But here, we're making it possible. We're making it happen. Alright, so now let's get into another nice common, not a nice pain experience, but a nice common one that you can work with more easily and readily in your everyday life. And this is the sharp pains that suddenly, unexpectedly, randomly comes in moments in your everyday life. For me personally, I most commonly experience the sharp pains like shooting up in my neck, into my head. Sometimes I feel it in my eyes as well, like right here above my eyeballs, and also right there in the center, by my nose, my lower back, oftentimes my knees, also a very common one. Let's look at the knees. The knees represent your ego. What is your ego? Your ego can consist of the moments where you are creating or projecting a facade to other people of who you are and how you're experiencing yourself. Like let's say you are actually really insecure, but you are exuding this presence of dominance, and you're actually coming through as a being a bit arrogant, or self-righteous, in wanting to compensate for the insecurity that you're actually experiencing. Because the moment before you walked up to the people, you actually were afraid that they won't like you. I don't know how many could relate to something like that. This is actually also a very common experience in many people, and this is actually what we can look out for in this video as the practical application process. The practical application meaning practice this in your everyday life. See, the moment you walk up to people, colleagues, friends, your boss, when you're walking into a store, a coffee shop, anywhere where there's strangers, people you don't know, alright? What I'd like you to do is see what thoughts or movements come up inside of you about yourself. Do you feel insecure, uncomfortable? Are you suddenly self-conscious? How are you moving? What's your body language saying? How is your head? Is your chin up? Are you looking straight ahead? Is your walking confident, assertive? What about you is suddenly changing? Right there, you're already shifting into a form of insecurity, an emotion, a less than, a belittlement of yourself. And what others tend to do is that experience and that moment moves so fast inside of them that they quickly instead show this like dominance, or I'm confident, I'm cool, I'm alright, there's no insecurity inside of me that I just felt. And that's where the ego points can sometimes come in the knees, where you are constantly and continuously actually living in a state of self-deception, self-honesty, and it becomes a way of life, and that becomes then a personality design that you just live out, and you're actually for most of your life in this constant inner conflict of an ego personality, while your real self is always in the background. So when I was younger, that was also my thing. Quite insecure, but yet at the same time projecting and wanting to show off this overconfidence, really. And over time, I couldn't stand for long on my feet, because I'd feel the pressure actually start building in my knees, because even with how I was walking and standing in that ego to compensate for my insecurity, and my lack of confidence, how I would stand and use my body would put pressure on my knees. And that's where the sharp pain started coming through more and more and more. Alright everyone, so we're doing a 2-in-1 in this video, and we'll continue more in the next with showing how you can look out for those sharp pains, what they illustrate and demonstrate. And for this video to take with you is have a look with what changes inside of you, even the little changes, when you walk into a room with strangers or with colleagues or acquaintances, and notice how much pressure you also place on your knees when you try and change to make up for what you're really experiencing inside yourself. Right everyone, thank you very much.